Welcome back, my little investigators. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Riley. And this is literally
No One Asked.
Today we're going to be discussing if I was murdered tomorrow, these are the top 10 characters we would want on the case. After watching these characters in their respective shows, I immediately thought, you know how to solve a mystery. So if I was murdered tomorrow, these are the people you got to send on my case. Every week we create different topics like this and bring our top 5 characters that we think fit in the category. We hope that you write down some of the people on your list and catch us next week, but that's okay if not, because literally
No one asked.
So to start off with my number 5, bringing it back, as I was looking through my list, I'm like, are lesbians low-key good detectives? Because I do have 2 guests from the low-key lesbian list, but
You're so right.
And my number 5 is Wednesday from Wednesday Addams. I immediately need Wednesday on the case because, spoiler, but if you watch the new season, all she has to do is touch him. And then her eyes bleed.
Stop bleeding.
And she'll see the glimpses. Like, she can solve my murder, and, like, it's not even a mystery. She's going to solve it. All she has to do is go find the person and touch him. So she would definitely be a good person to have on my team. Plus, I was thinking about it, and in the opening, of this new series, she starts off with, didn't she track down, like, a serial killer and became, like, a victim on purpose? Yeah. So she'd be good.
Kill him, yeah. She knows what's up.
She'd be having fun. Like, this is, like, her idea of a hobby. So I would definitely call Wednesday to solve my murder.
I think that's a genius idea. My number 5 is going to be the lovely Castiel from Supernatural, and I chose him as number 5 because, out of all of the main, Supernatural peoples, I feel like maybe other people want to choose him first, but first of all, I love him, and I do feel like he'd do a good job because he's an angel, and I feel like he could solve my murder specifically, you know what I mean? We're talking about us here, and, if I was murdered, I trust in him. I would trust in him. I would have people call him up and be like, yeah.
How do I call him?
I'll put that motherfucker in my will. Castiel in my will. He's an angel. He don't need the money, but I don't care. So that's why I put him in here, and more supernatural representation because it's so good. It's fun, it's silly, it's goofy, whatever, but it's really good. So I wanted to put Castiel in here because I believe in him.
Yes, that show was iconic.
Yeah, they be solving so many mysteries. I believe in.
Yeah, after not decades, but lots of years solving mysteries, they're going to be able to solve your mystery.
Yeah.
And then my number 4 is Adrian Monk from the TV show Monk. And I had to put this in here. Shout out, Dad, if you're watching. Yep. But I am so thankful that this was one of the first, real shows that I remember watching. And there were a lot of seasons of Monk. I remember I owned all of them on DVD, and whenever I got sick, I would watch them. But that was just, a really fun, whodunit mystery show. And it came out in 2002, so I feel like it kind of set the stage, the precedence for things like Mentalist and Castle, whodunit, Psych, exactly, where there's one big overarching plot, he's trying to figure out who murdered his wife. You find that out on the first episode, but then every episode is kind of chipping away one small mystery while you chip away at the big mystery. So I really loved that, and again, that was just one of the first TV shows I remember loving and being obsessed with. And I feel like me and my dad always joke we're gonna monk it out when you solve it. And so his whole shtick is that he walks into a room and he just kind of looks at things, and he's able to tell by the way that it's tilted, or he doesn't have to touch anything to know exactly what went on. So of course I would have Monk come solve my murder. All he has to do is walk in, and
it would also be a joke in our family, you got to clean Monk style, because he would clean a neat freak in his house. So
I think that was part of the plot, is after his wife. I think it was because his wife passed away. Maybe he was always a quirky man, but after his wife passed away, I know he his OCD tendencies were really intense. A quote that I say from that show all the time is, "There's bees, there's blenders, there's bees in blenders." So gotta show some love to that early 2000s OG whodunit. And he's the godfather of the detective show.
Yes.
So he's gonna be able to solve my murder just fine.
You really ate that one. My number 4 is going to be Neuvillette from Genshin Impact, bringing some more love to one of my favorite games. Again, like I said, I've been playing only a couple months after release. Okay, I started playing during Hu Chao's first banner. Okay, 1.3 or 4, whatever. But Neuvillette, I feel like he would be really good because he's one of the dragon sovereigns. So he's quite literally a dragon, and he's part of the justice, from the Fontaine, the city of justice, with the Archon of Justice. And he has the Oratrice Mécanique de la Lys Corda now, which Yes.
We speak French.
Yes, it is a mouthful of French. Which basically is just like an upstanding truth. Like no matter what it says, it's the absolute truth. If you're guilty, if you're not guilty or whatever. And that was the like big T in the Archon quest was the Archon was guilty by death.
Guilty.
They said, you gotta chop a motherfucking head off. Yeah, girl, it was crazy. So I would trust Neuvillette to solve my murder because, like, again, the Ortri's making that at least got it out. He got my back.
Period.
Right? And the person who voices him in English, Ray Chase, is Sukuna in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Fire. I love that voice.
Very fire. So I do trust him, my Dragon King. I trust you, my French King, to solve my murder. You better be, because you're a judge. You're literally a judge. So if you don't solve my murder, that'd be really embarrassing.
He said, oui, oui.
Wait. Literally.
Hey, quick break. Just wanted to let you know that this episode is brought to you by, well, me. When I'm not dressing up and recording this podcast, I actually run a business, and it's called Riley Yana's Social Media Services. I work with brands, entrepreneurs, and creatives, all to help them grow their strategies, create engaged audiences, and create content that actually resonates. So if you're ready to grow your social media, check the show notes for a special discount just for you.
And then to jump right into my number 3, who I am dressed as today.
Yay!
I actually have had this stuffed animal ever since. I have a calico at home.
Yes, honey.
My little honey girl. And so we have this stuffed animal. We call her Honey Junior in my house. But
Yep.
I brought my Honey Junior today to help me cosplay Lady Tamayo from Demon Slayer. And when we came up with this category of characters that I would want to help solve my murder, instantly came to mind. Because one... I mean, as you've seen through the show, she's able to be a little sneaky deaky. Like, Muzan don't know what is going on. Like, she's under the...
So smart.
So I think she'd really be able to get into that nitty gritty, be behind the scenes. No one would know she's moving in and out, like getting the evidence that she needs to. On top of that, she's like a medical scientist. She's like a doctor. So she'd be able to examine my body, see what toxins were used. I feel like I want her to do the autopsy.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely need her to do the autopsy, and then I think she'll have the most clear deduction for what happened to me. And spoiler warnings ahead. Based off of everything we've seen right before the Infinity Castle, I mean, she's a real one. I think she would solve my murder even if it meant risking her own life, as we saw.
Yeah.
So, and that the final scene in the most recent season of Demon Slayer, when you know it's time to take on Muzan and Lady Tamayo steps up. She just cemented one of my favorite characters ever. Like, she was so baddie.
That line of, like,
dress up.
I didn't want to, I just wanted to watch my children grow old. I didn't want to, like, live past them. Hurt me so bad.
Literal
Literally,
tears.
she was just a mom that wanted to watch her children go old. And she was so smart and so beautiful. And so it just felt so bad. So she's such a baddie and a real one. So I was so excited for you to put her in this list and dress up as her today.
Yes, she's always been someone that I've wanted to cosplay because I have a calico at home. So you best believe I'm going to go home and hold Honey and take some TikToks.
And my number 3, and I'm really excited to talk about this one, is Ciel and Sebastian from Black Butler. Dude, that was like one of the first anime I really got into. Like,
Black Butler is a household name around here.
Oh my god, everybody knows it. That was like my first real cosplay with Sebastian and everything. And before this episode comes out, it's before our local convention here in Salt Lake City, and J. Michael Tatum, the English voice for Sebastian's coming. I'm so excited. So, you know, I'm nerding out right now. I'm very excited. But basically the plot line of this is like his whole family was killed. Ciel, he's like 14. And he's like this rich kid, you know, named to an estate, but he's like the Queen's guard dog of the underworld, you know, solves murders and all the like gruesome things. So he's like trying to figure out, you know, who killed his family and everything. But there's lots of plot twists and turns throughout it. And Sebastian is a demon that he makes a contract with before Ciel is like killed. And so they solve all these murders. And there's literally Jack the Ripper in it and so many other different things. So I know that these little Brits could solve my murder, and I love them so much. You know, I've bashed the Brits and their beans and toast, but this time I'm welcoming their beans and toast, okay? They will solve my murder. I 1,000% believe in them. Even though one of them's 14, that don't matter. He's smarter than me. He's way smarter than me.
Period.
And this is like in the 1800s.
Oh.
So
Victorian child.
one of them would be dead. The other one's a demon. So he's like vibing. But he is a Victorian child, and he's a sickly Victorian child. A talkie would take him out. If Ciel ate a talkie, he would die.
Bye-bye.
Bye. But I do believe in them and solve my murder. And that's why I have them at a good medium, because, you know, they're good detectives. But also I love them so much. And I really wanted to represent my black butler. So that's why I have them up there.
8 down. Mm-hmm. And before we jump into our middle segment, we're going to do a quick honorable mention. And I just watched the movie Sinners, and I am obsessed with it. It's like a vampire horror, low-key musical, and I loved it. I just watched all of the Creeds like the week before, and they were good. I'm not usually a sports girl movie, but Michael B. Jordan 8, and he was in Sinners too. And I love Haley Steinfeld.
Yes.
Steinfeld.
She's also Vi in Arcane. That's who
Oh,
voices in Arcane.
Amazing. I love her as an actress, and she was
Yeah,
in
she's
that.
a great actress.
Mm-hmm. So I loved Sinners. So when I was watching it, though, one of the things that I loved about this horror movie too was I usually hate horror movies because there's a lot of dumb people. For example, they're like, "Oh, what is that scary noise? I'm gonna open the door unarmed and see." Like, girl, you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're stupid.
And that happens in a lot of horror movies where they just like, I'm like, why would you do that? So in Sinners, my girl Annie, I would want her to solve my murder because she's like well versed on like the magic and like spirits, and like when the vampires started showing up, no one knew what was going on, but she threw like a thing of garlic and she's like, these are vampires. Like, she knew immediately. No one questioned her. She's very like
Maddie.
she's very wise. She's very loyal. Like, she was one of my favorite characters from the whole movie, period. So I trust her. She would not let anyone pull a quick one on me, especially if I died of supernatural causes.
Okay, period.
And then for our middle segment today, because we're talking all about mysteries, I thought it'd be fun to read a couple riddles to each other. So I'm going to read a riddle or two to Maddie, and we're going to watch her figure it out, and vice versa.
Oh, girl.
As you can see, she dresses Maomao, so I believe in you.
I got to use
She's
the power of
queen.
autism.
Yeah.
I got to use the power of autism with this one.
You got this. Okay, ready?
Yes.
What has 13 hearts but no lungs, feet, or belly buttons?
A plane?
I love it, girl.
No.
Really on your mama voice. A plane?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you the answer?
Yeah.
A deck of cards. Because there's 13 hearts.
Oh, girl, I didn't know that.
That's okay. That's the point of riddles. They're hard. They're hard. It's okay. It's okay.
The power of autism isn't working.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
What is full of holes but still holds water?
A sponge?
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Yippee!
So you ate. And then here's the list. And you can just scroll.
Okay.
And you can pick out two for me. Scroll down like maybe just a
Yeah.
titch because I saw the ones nearby. But
What runs all along? What the? What runs all along the backyard but never moves?
runs. But never moves? Mm-hmm. The sun? I have no idea.
A fence.
Oh! Ow! When you say it, I feel like dirt.
Dirt, dirt, dirt.
To be fair, I'm coming off of a sickness, okay? I
Yeah,
have a clear head, okay?
Okay, ready? What? What's one thing that tastes better than it smells? Quite literally. No, it's a literal. Think about it super literal. What's one thing that tastes better than it smells?
Girl. Water? I don't know. Girl, I don't know.
Your tongue. What's one thing that tastes better than it smells? Do you want one more?
Yeah.
Can we find you like a better one?
You're like, let me find you an easy one.
Okay, maybe. I have no wings, but I can fly. I have no eyes, but I can cry. What am I?
Say it again.
I have no wings, but I can fly. I have no eyes, but I can cry. Not flying in a literal sense, but it is in the sky.
Girl, I'm not even going to guess and embarrass myself. Just tell me.
No, just guess.
I can't even think of something. No eyes and doesn't cry.
Yeah.
And wings but doesn't fly?
Yeah. Like, don't take it too literal. Like, just think about it in that sense. Like, it cries. Like, it drops wet stuff. And it can be in the air.
A plane. A bird. I don't fucking know.
A cloud.
A what?
A cloud.
Okay. This was probably my least favorite middle segment. I left you
You said I'm over this middle segment.
No, just kidding. That was fun, but damn, riddles are hard.
Damn,
riddles are hard. I remember that was like a thing when Dora had to cross the bridge.
Yeah.
And she had to answer a riddle every time.
Girl, why does the chicken cross the road?
I'd be stuck.
I'm stumped.
Now that we have completed that complete and utter embarrassment of a middle segment, it's time to move into the top 2 of who would solve my murder. And for number 2, I have to give it to my girl, Hermione Granger, because I feel like she is just kind of overlooked. I feel like a lot of and if you're like really deep in the Harry Potter fandom, which I'm not even, but I'm like on Harry Potter talk a little bit. Like I see people talking about like the lore, and I mean it's been around for over 20 years, so there's a lot to talk about Harry Potter. But I feel like generally people think of like Harry Potter and then his 2 sidekicks of Ron and Hermione. But they say it in almost every movie that they would not be able to complete their mission without Hermione's wisdom. She has like always these little knickknacks, like little tools and spells that no one else has that saves them a lot of the time. So I don't think they would be able to accomplish nearly anything they did or as much as they did without Hermione. Whereas Hermione would have been fine without them, but I don't think they would have been fine without Hermione. So she's super smart. She is like very loyal. I want a baddie solving my murder.
Yes.
So I fell in love with the Harry Potter series again this year. So I knew I had to put Miss Hermione on this list.
Another shout out to a redheaded baddie who can do anything, So I think Hermione's a perfect pick.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my number 2 is Shuichi Saihara from Danganronpa V3, the 3rd game. He's quite literally, if you know anything about Danganronpa, the point of it throughout all 3 games is like there's this Hope's Peak Academy, the school you go to. All of the students are ultimates, so they have a special skill that they specialize in. And when they get to this school, they think like, oh, cool, fun little school, yippee. Just kidding. It's a murder game, and you all have to kill each other and figure out each other's murder, and only some of you get to live. Fire.
Amazing.
Yeah. And there have been other detectives, so I kind of thought about, having Kirigiri, a different one in here. But I wanted to give some extra love to Shuichi because, people do like him, but I wanted to put him in here because I do think he could solve my murder because V3 was confusing as and he figured that shit out. So if he can figure all of that out, I know he can figure out my murder. And so that's why I trust him. And I had him as my number 2. He's quite literally the ultimate detective. That's his special talent and special skill. So I believe in him. And, if you played the game, it's been out for a while, you know this and everything. But like, they were really just normal people in the world that had no special talent and joined this killing game for people to watch on television, like entertainment. So they really didn't have this special talent. They just made it up for them for this show, the killing game. But they really do die and kill each other. It is really messed up. But I still believe in him because he had the most hope out of everyone in all the despair. So I know he could solve my murder.
And now for the moment of truth.
Yes.
And when I was watching this show, I specifically remember the episode that I'd made this decision that the number 1 person I would want to solve my murder is Edward Elric. And that is because, of course, they're like a duo, so Ed and Al. But specifically, Ed, because I remember, spoiler warning ahead, however, I have noticed a lot of people said one of their favorite animes is Full Metal, so I think a lot of people have seen it, but spoilers still. When he's trying to figure out the Philosopher's Stone and Dr. Marco gives it to him, he's like, good luck, no one's really able to figure it out. He figured that out so fast. I remember watching that episode, and I think that's what inspired one of these categories. Is I was like, I would want him to solve anything that ever goes wrong with me because he's a genius. He's the youngest alchemist. He solved that. I mean, I'm almost done with the show, so I've seen that he solved not just the Philosopher's Stone, but there's like layers, how it's made, why it's made.
Everything with Hohenheim.
So he is just solving mystery after mystery, and he's 14. Obviously, I think he'd be able to solve the riddles that I just did.
He'd be like, yeah, but he's dumb as
And something else I really love about him is like when you see, I think in this first season, everything with the dad and his daughter and the dog.
Yeah.
He, even though like he didn't necessarily have like a personal connection to them, he just barely met them. Like he didn't stop thinking about it. It's like still referenced multiple times throughout the show. Like he cares very deeply and wants to solve what's wrong because he cares so much about justice. Yes. And that is someone I want looking out for me. So I would pick him.
I agree. You're so right for that, Maddie. And my number one is going to be who I am dressed up as today. You know, we've talked about that little rule we've made. We don't give a fuck about that rule. I get the cat now because they named the cat Maomao after her in the show. Riley also has not finished season 2 yet. But yeah, my number one is Maomao. So I'm going to just be really careful when talking about certain things.
Thank you. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Maddie.
Yes, but if we're specifically talking about season 1, obviously she's just so baddie, you know what I mean? Like, she's solved so many different kinds of mysteries. And there's stuff in season 2 I wish I could say because it's even more intricate. But if you know, you know. I'm just going to say little things she won't understand. Like the colorblind test and everything with one of the concubines. Like, she's just so smart. And again, that power of autism pulling through. My girl is neurodivergent as hell. 1,000%.
Neurodivergent, lesbian. Sign me up.
Bow, 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 again. But no, I trust her to solve my murder because she's just so smart and she's genuine, you know? Like, even though she tries, again, that unreliable narrator coming back into play, she tries to pretend like she doesn't care about certain people or situations, but in the end, she really does, and she shows that through her actions. Actions speak louder than words. So she really does care. Like, when she didn't know all these different things about Jinji, and she went to go figure out, you know, and solve everything that was happening in that shrine, she saved him at that last minute. She was running for someone else's life.
Essentially risked her life.
She risked her life for someone else's life, which is just so
And she didn't even know it was Jinji.
Nope, she had no idea it was Jinji. She just knew that someone was gonna die, and she wanted to save them. But she figured it out. No one else knew what was going on, but she was the smart baddie that figured it out. And, you know, in this time period of where a lot of women couldn't read and write, like, she is just extraordinary above it all. So I love Maomao, and it's written by a woman, and it's a really amazing story. If you haven't watched it, I really, really recommend it. So I 1,000% trust Maomao.
Both our picks were written by women.
Yes.
Full Metal and
yes, both written by women because they're baddies.
So there you have it. Those are our top 10 characters that we would pick to solve our murder. I feel really confident having this brigade figure out what happened to us.
Oh no.
But there can only be one.
In a pit. And this is what happened last time. Maomao got in the pit last time.
Maomao had to be in the pit.
Maomao's in the pit again, and I'm so sorry.
With
the Full Metal Alchemist.
The Full Metal Alchemist. Bye, girl.
Bye-bye.
It was nice knowing you.
Yeah, I love you, Maomao.
But thank you so much for tuning in. It was so fun to discuss who would solve our murder, who would solve your murder, who do you want on your team. And we hope to catch you back here next week. But it's okay if not, because literally
no one asked.
And back again is me. I'm also here to tell you that this episode's brought to you by me. I run my small business lunar cause, so if you're ever in the SLC area and you want to grow your natural nails strong and healthy with intricate custom nail art, you'll come to me for that, of course. And you can see more information for that in the show notes below.